Hey wonderful people, what's going on? Good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Today I plan to do a couple of videos for you. One is individual review, other one is gonna be a list. So first review I'm gonna do is the individual review from House of Albait Aldimashqi, and this fragrance is called L'Homme. Okay, L'Homme. And as you can see, the original L'Homme is here, which is the YSL L'Homme. I don't know if there are many reviews on it, but I'm gonna review this. It's a 75 ml version, comes in this kind of packaging, and they have two kind of bottles from Albait Aldimashqi. One is the red maroon color bottles, which are I don't own any of those, but they also have the blue bottles, right? And then they have the more premium, where they clone more expensive fragrances. They are more expensive. So these are 75 ml versions, and they I think are about $35 per 75 ml, something like that. They are affordable, but not very cheap. Okay, so I did talk about few Albait Aldimashqis, and the ones that I bought, they were on most part served me well. Like I really like the Platinum Egoist, I like Code Absolute, and Lanidolum was fantastic. So there are quite a few. Check out my Albait Aldimashqis. So the early morning I'm doing the video 6:13. It's peaceful and quiet. I think the city now the holidays started, so 1 week of Eid holiday. So people who live like off the city, but their hometown is off the city, they all left more or less. So it's gonna get a little bit like easy to breathe. It has been very terrible jam during holiday festive season. People crazy jam everywhere. Anyway, and then added that high heat. So we'll see how good of a clone this is to YSL L'Homme, and if there are any differences, which one lasts longer, if it's worthy looking at it, or stuff like that. So the box looks like that, nice box. Okay, so if you want to buy this in Bangladesh, I think the authorized distributors are Fragrantica Bangladesh. These are all the way from UAE. Okay, and all the presentation look kind of same, only they put a sticker. They're very smart. They put like a sticker just to distinguish. So I kind of damaged the packaging a little bit when I tried to take it off, and it just didn't want to come off, so like that. But it's okay. The bottles are all standard blue bottles. They look nice. Okay, if you have seen one, you have seen all. Okay, look nice. There's the cap. The cap has some weight, and then there's the back. The name of the perfume will be written. So sometimes I see this, that they call their fragrance one thing, but on the listing they have some other different name. So it can get confusing. So always check before you buy. Okay. So the cap, as I told you, got some weight, but it's made of mostly plastic, and the atomizer is good. I have sprayed this on my skin. Let's go few more. Good distribution. Okay, and then this thing you can pick it up. I think this one has good grip, not very heavy bottle. And I put YSL L'Homme. It's almost finished bottle. I have 10 ml left, but over the years I think it's been with me for 6-7 years, so I haven't used it in the last few years. I think that's why the cap got this discoloration or whatever, the dirt it collects. So these kind of bottles, they have that problem. Lanidolum, the plastic one, don't have, but this one, the metallic chrome caps, they do that. But really nice classy bottles. Let me just do, I know this smell for a very long time. I'll tell you a story while I review this. Okay, so L'Homme, let's start with the original. Okay, did not get the welcome or the love that it deserved. Okay, this one is the silent brother. I strictly remember one fragrance called Versace Man. Okay, many people love Versace Man Fresh, but many people do not know Versace Man was the original and did not get that much love, which is discontinued now. A fantastic fragrance, beautiful perfume. Really like the tobacco, spicy, a very masculine perfume, very hard to get, right? So that one did not get the love, but Manu Fresh became very popular, and all thanks to our influencers who sort of focused on those fragrances, highlighted, so they were top sellers. So in different times we have seen different things, but this fragrance right here, the YSL L'Homme, I think a little bit like an unsung hero. Because of this, we got the great Lanidolum. L'Homme is that fragrance I tried for the very first time alongside Lanidolum. Like, let me tell you the story actually before the review. When I started my journey in 2015, I used to watch review all day, all day. Robzo 8, Jeremy, Steven, all the Fragrance Brothers, Fragrance Bros, and Max 40, all Sebastian. So what happened to me is like it became a habit. I used to have like lunch, you know, watching reviews like on like a row, like one after another, one after another. So I saw the review of Lanidolum. Of course, that was the most hyped. So I went to buy that fragrance, and it was in Malaysia, of course, KLCC, Surya KLCC, Isitan, I think, yeah, Isitan Mall. And they had different testers. So that is like the starting of the game. You want to get the best ones. Like you want to get the Lanidolum, you want to get the Blood Edition, and you want to get the Elirome, Au Extreme, Diorome Intense. So I got all those one by one. But one fine day I decided, because L'Homme is a little bit more pricey than other fragrances. For some reason, YSL is more pricey in Malaysia than, even sometimes more than Chanel. So I decided, like, let's just go for L'Homme. I'm gonna get it. It's for, I think it was around 400 ringgit at that time. I don't know how much it is now, but in Bangladesh, L'Homme is now around $120. So 80, I think, yeah, $80, right? 400 ringgit is $80, approximate, give or take. And I decided to go and try it. That day I tried first thing, L'Homme, this one, and then I tell the sales assistant to spray L'Homme as well. Of course, L'Homme was wow, beautiful opening, sexy. But guess what? I love L'Homme more than L'Homme, because on the paper, on skin, they are different. Okay, on the paper you smell nothing. When you spray this perfume, you smell nothing at all. And I was like, is this right? Why is it so light? And I told the sales assistant, she was a fantastic person. She's very helpful, always used to give me samples when I bought perfumes. And she used to suggest, like, take Thierry Mugler Ultra Zest, it's gonna be sold out soon. And I did. So I sprayed this L'Homme on my hand, and I sprayed L'Homme. And I tell you, I kid you not, I love L'Homme more. Such a lovey-dovey fragrance. Those who are used to it, they bought that limited edition, then the art edition, then the tall, the cylindrical one, many versions of it. But L'Homme was that lovey-dovey woody floral musk, that apple, that musk, a little bit of woodiness, a little bit of a sweetness, and it gets compared to Hugo Boss bottle, right? Two major competitors, but I love Boss bottle more because it has more presence. The apples are a little bit more out. This one has some floral, which is not in Boss bottle. So Boss bottle has cinnamon. This one doesn't have the cinnamon. So I always liked wearing this. It's such a beautiful fragrance. Jeremy said, when you stay indoors, when you go meet your, girlfriend, parents for the first time, this is what you wear. I loved Jeremy back in the days. In those days, he was wonderful. His reviews were beautiful. He didn't do any crazy stunts. I don't want to spread hate or anything. Like, I'm just telling you frankly what I feel. He was one of my inspiration to start this work. I really, we talked, Jeremy and we communicated once in a while. He mentioned me in his Instagram and stuff. So coming back to L'Homme, long story. This one my favorite, okay, but I never got performance out of it. Sadly, that is the only thing this one gets bashing for. The L'Homme Ultime was a big hit, and L'Homme Le Parfum was okay, but L'Homme L'Eau Intense was good. But more or less, the L'Homme flankers didn't really do the sales. L'Homme, yes, Bleu Electric, L'Homme, the other ones, the Parfum, they sold well. But now this, nobody talks about it. Okay, such a good fragrance, but lacks performance. So wouldn't it be nice if we had alternative? Yeah, after 7 8 minutes. Sorry, I'm a little bit feel like talkative, feeling a little bit better than before. So coming back to this, what I get from spraying this, first of all, the performance. Let's talk about it. This one kills the performance of this. Easy, any day. Albait Aldimashqi fragrances. One thing is guaranteed. So two things are guaranteed. If let's say some of them are not really 100% clone, like one-on-one clone, but they're all gonna last fantastic hours, 6-7 hours easy. So longevity is beast. Second thing is, they always, like, no alcohol, no syntheticness. They smell natural and smell like the real deal. Okay, these two things are guaranteed. So this one has that. Performance wise, great. More or less all of them got at least 5 to 6 hours on average. So I got about 5.5. I'm happy with it. L'Homme gives in 1 hour. So this is 5 times more the performer. So the main question, how close is this in terms of smell? So I'm smelling this on my arm, and I'm smelling the L'Homme as well. So there are differences around 15, 17 or 20% differences between the two. One thing, this thing has more citrus. I detect a little bit of a citrus, like kind of like a, not sour, but a little bit citrus, more fresh compared to this. This one has that appley, sweet smell. It's like a little bit warm sweetness. This one is more fresh sweetness. So in the opening, I think that's the major difference. In the opening, I at first did not understand if this is actually a clone of that. So in the opening, I would say this fragrance on its own is a different fragrance. Okay, this is a nice opening, but I prefer the opening of L'Homme. So the gorgeous apple, golden apple notes and the floral. This one is more beautiful in terms of smell. Then on the dry down, after 20 minutes, 25 minutes, this thing starts smelling like L'Homme. And it's not really to say it is a huge, like the Aventus version they have. It is a massive project, a massive performer. This one is not as beast mode as the Aventus or the L'Homme, but 5.5 hours, not bad. I guess is the high heat in Bangladesh. We're having a heat wave, 36 degrees, feels like 41, and high humidity. You sweat a lot, and it's very difficult to breathe. This kind of weather, if it's giving 5.5 hours, normal weather's easily gonna be 6-7 hours. So that's great. So 75 ml is not a problem. So the dry down, yeah, it smells a lot like L'Homme, and it's actually more how to say fizzy, more bright and more summer-like than L'Homme. L'Homme, I would say for the price, this is perhaps not worth it. I would get Boss bottle, but if you cannot afford Boss bottle or this, if you want an alternative, you want a modern interpretation, you can get this. And the last thing I would say, if you already have L'Homme, still get this. You can layer these two. You can smell your L'Homme much longer than before. So that's a good trick. Okay, so La Nuit de l'Homme and El Nuit, from the Albait, I always sort of like layer. They gave me great performance. So this is gonna be good for layering. It's gonna be good for longevity. It's gonna be perfect for office and gym. Okay, so summertime, great fragrance. So is this my most favorite? No, because like original scent profile, L'Homme is like kind of like a everyday smell. You smell it, it's not really special like Durham Intense, like stands out. It's a fragrance, it's a known perfume, it's the person you know, and it's like a friendly person, it's your brother, it's your friend. So L'Homme is always not very exciting, but it's a beautiful, handsome perfume, right? So if you like that, you can try this. I would give this fragrance like overall, like this one, I'll give you overall 7.5 out of 10. All right. So it's a good fragrance, but I would say try before you buy. If you're a big fan of L'Homme, definitely try it. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Let's move on to the second video and we'll upload it. Take care.